Devi in Rishikesh and above is Ganga Devi where she begins. If you go above Rishikesh, there is Rudraprayag, or Deva Prayag is commonly known as. And then above there is Gangotri and Yamunotri. And then there is Gomukh. And Ganga Devi comes out from the mountains of the Himalayas. And the source looks like a cow face. Those who do yoga, you know, Gomukha Asana. So yeah. Gomukh is the cow face. That's where Ganga Devi is gushing out. And then she travels through all over India. And she's going through Mayapur now. And then she'll go through Kolkata and enter into the Bay of Bengal. So Ganga here is wider, and it gets wider and wider and wider. And finally, she reaches the ocean. So we were out there doing a Ganga Puja, and we went on a boat, and we came to a place, there's a confluence of the three rivers. So, like in Rishikesh, they have a Triveni Ghat, a place where we did the ashes. I don't know if you remember Haripriya. You'll see the beautiful dreads of Ganga Devi. You know, her hair is braided. So you'll see a beautiful braids. And at that junction, the three sacred rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, and they come together. And anytime these three goddesses, they come together, that place becomes an energetic, powerful energetic vortex. And so we have that in Rishikesh, and then we also have that in Allahabad, in Prayag, where they do the Kumbh Mela every year, and then every 12 years, and then every 24 years, the big ones, the Kumbh Melas. So in Mayapur, they also have a place where Ganga and Yamuna and Saraswati, they meet. And I was showing Keshavi, she was in the boat, and everybody else on the boat, how the waters, they all come together, but they don't mix. Ganga remains the muddy color, and Yamuna remains blue. So blue and the muddy colors. So it's a very interesting phenomenon that happens. So it's a place that we visited today. And then Barbara, it's nice to see you, have your presence. Isabel, I think you're back in Washington, D.C. It was nice to be on the yatra with you.
Yeah, good morning, Veda and everyone. Yeah, I'm back.
Yes. And you're back healthy, I'm guessing.
Healthy, but it's quite cold. It's below freezing, so.
Oh my God, in D.C. is below freezing?
Yeah, it was 32 the first night, the first day, so I need to scratch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, here is like 80 degrees here.
Enjoy it.
Yes, it's very nice. And Margot, it's nice to have you on the call. And Eileen, is that Eileen? Eileen.
Yes, I'm here. I can't get my camera to work, but I'm so glad to be here.
And Eileen she's such a trooper, you know? And everyone was like, the whole Connecticut crew is just always looking for, where's Eileen? Where's Eileen? She was like, everybody was trying to smother Eileen with so much affection and care.
It was lovely.
And Eileen was completely on top of everything. And then, because she's so cute and petite and, you know, hiding in the midst of the crowd, everyone is looking for Eileen, and then everybody looks around, there's Eileen in the middle of the group. That was very sweet.
It was really wonderful. So
Are you fully recovered, Eileen?
Pretty much recovered, except that I think my heart is left in India.
Your heart is in Rishikesh?
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah. Little different, feeling a little different than before.
The heart always hurts when we leave.
Yeah. Feeling good though, very strong, very
Thank you,
center.
Eileen.
Yes,
Sandra,
thank you.
it's nice to see you on the call. And Becca, I'm not quite sure where are you located, Rebecca? I think she's, and then we have Irene. Nice to see you, Irene. So I want to give you so many updates, so many cool things are going on every day in our lives here. So today, we went to the birthplace of Kirtan. There's a place called Srivasangam, and that's where they went. And it was the first documented historical geographical location of where Kirtan began. Reinstituted about 543 years ago. And that was in a place called Srivasangam. It's a very powerful Kirtan energy. So we went there and we went to the birthplace of Chaitanya, who was one of the great personalities who was a big proponent of Kirtan continuously. He was known to have been doing Kirtan for 24 hours, always ecstatically chanting and dancing. So we went to those places, then we went to a special temple. It's a Jagannath temple. It's a temple where Shiva and Krishna, they sat together under a banyan tree and they had beautiful dialogues. Like two homies having some very big, intimate dialogues. And in an incredible place. So we went over there. Evening, we went for a Ganga Puja on a beautiful boat ride upstream. And early in the morning, we went to do some Gopuja. It's a very celebrated practice in, all over India, where people gather and they worship the cow. And they, worship it with incense, frankincense, lamp, and with flower garlands, and we all got to feed the cows these delicious laddus, these sweet balls that are made with different multi-grains to, give the cows more strength and energy. So, yeah, it was such a beautiful day. And we only have 4 more days. There's 14 of us here, so it's a smaller group. It's quite ecstatic. Is there any questions? I was thinking that sometimes on the trips, I speak a lot about the different places. Is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss about, us to discuss about? Any
I would
reflections?
love to hear what it was like, the Ganga Puja. What exactly did you do and where were you standing and what were you seeing?
Do you want me to tell you about the Ganga Puja in Rishikesh or Ganga Puja today?
Either one.
Okay. So Ganga Puja is, in the yoga traditions, we learn to live in harmony and in synchrony with nature. So we are always worshiping the earth, water, fire, air, ether. There's a constant worship of devotion and expression of gratitude with deep love. So in India, Ganga Puja, she is being worshipped by 1 billion people every single day. So normally in Rishikesh, you'll see they chant a lot of mantras and prayers of gratitude, and they take a big lamp and they worship Ganga Devi. And those lamps are sometimes 16 powerful lamps, and sometimes there's 108 of them. And those lamps represent our individual hearts, those individual flames resembling in this little ghee wicks. And then that is offered to Ganga Devi as a token of gratitude, like we offer you our heart. So saying that my heart is yours, just as your heart is mine. You give us everything. Ganga Devi gives us everything. She gives us food, she gives us shelter, she gives us nourishment. She provides everything. And I gave a long class on Ganga Devi, which is very deep, understanding who she is. It is explained that just by smelling and inhaling the oxygen that is embracing her loving personality, if it enters your body, you are free from the cycle of repeated birth and death. And this was written very clearly by Sankaracharya, who was the founder of Advaita Vedanta philosophy. And he very beautifully writes the glories of Ganga Devi. So, because she's being worshipped by billions of people, we also wanted to participate while we're here, close to Ganga Devi, to offer her our deepest gratitude. And I did it in behalf of the whole community. It was a phenomenal experience. So that is, and a lot of chanting and Kirtan and mantras, So it's a lot of fun. Any other particular specific questions? Yes.
Can you talk again about the significance of the we went to the Shiva place with the poison. Can you explain about that again?
Yes.
Thank you.
We went to a temple called Neelakanta. Neela means blue. Kanta means throat. And it's a special temple up in the hills from Ganga Devi. If you drive about an hour up the hill, you come to a temple called Neelakanta temple. Lord Shiva had drank the poison. And this poison was extremely powerful. It was so poisonous that even if you got close to, with a certain mile radius of the poison, it was so strong, the fragrance of the poison would kill you. And that poison was extracted when the demigods and the demons, they got together, the good people and the bad people, they got together and they churned the mountain with a big serpent, this epic churning for the nectar of immortality. This word Amrit means immortality, means nectar. And so they got together and they said, hey, there has to be something in this world that we could churn. And if we could all get this nectar of immortality, then we would live forever and we will never get old and we will be happily content forever and ever. And that is the potion that is available now in the heavenly planets. It is called the Swarga Loka in Sanskrit. So that potion of immortality was derived from churning the mountain. And it was one side the demigods and one side the demons. They churned and back and forth in the middle of the ocean. And then from that churning came out this beautiful goddess. And she was called the Mohini Murti. She was so beautiful that it is explained that both the demigods and the demons, they just fainted looking at her beauty. They just collapsed to the ground unconscious. Like, oh my God, how gorgeous is she? And that was one of the things. And she was carrying this pot of, or this potion of immortality. But what happened is that when you get nectar, there is poison. You don't get nectar alone. Just like in a relationship, there's a lot of sweetness, but there's also a lot of bitterness. Relationships are not just permanently all sweet. I don't know, Cynthia. Are you always on cloud nine, 24/7, 365, after being married and having grandkids? No. There is some issues to work with. So they got the nectar, but who's going to deal with the poison? Well, this was like heavy, heavy poison. So Lord Shiva, he drank the poison with his hands. He invoked all the poison. He swallowed it and he stored all the poison on his neck and did not allow the poison to enter into his body. Many of us, when we take toxicity, we let it enter into our mind and we let it enter and affect our whole existence. Anytime there is any toxicity in our life, it completely overpowers us. But Shiva has the special ability that he can stop the toxicity from entering his existence. And that is why that temple is very, very, very special. Everybody goes there to pray to Lord Shiva to be free from toxicity in their life. But my dear Lord Shiva, please help me, just as you have drank this poison of the entire cosmic universe. Please allow me, please accept the toxicity from my life and give me the pure experience of what this potion of immortality, what this nectar feels like. So this is why everybody goes to that temple, Neelakanta, and it is the Adam's apple of Lord Shiva. It's very beautiful. You don't get a lot of time to really see what's going on, but you can, I'm sure they maybe have some YouTube videos, you can get a very beautiful look at Lord Shiva's Adam's apple. So that's what the temple is. Neelakanta, on top of the beautiful Himalayan mountain peaks. On the foothills, it gets more and more higher from there. Eileen, does that make any sense?
Yes, thank you. Because it was very, very crowded when we were there and very fast. And so it's good to hear the background of the story as well and dream about it later, you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It was so crowded, so much pushing. It's about hundreds and thousands of people that go there every day, and you see how small the temple is, and they all try to make it in Lord Shiva.
Yes, it was very fast to go through there. Yep, but very profound. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question, and I'll probably pronounce it incorrectly. I don't even know what you call it. Is it a linga?
Yes.
It's can you explain what that is to me?
Shiva lingam.
Yes.
So Shiva lingam, Shiva is a very fire character. It's one of the most fascinating characters. So Shiva lingam represents the source of all creation. And that is what is being worshipped. Because it is explained that Shiva is also known as the Adi Guru, original teacher, or Adi Yogi. That all creation comes through him. He is that divine glance with which, and he is the source of creation. And then Parvati is the feminine, Shiva and Parvati. They are very deeply connected in our existence. She is the personification of material nature, and he is the personification or the source of our creation. So that is why you'll see that people worship the Shiva lingam, because you are worshiping the source of your birth. Is the embodiment of Lord Shiva. So that's why Shiva lingam is worshipped. It's very, very deep, huh? I'm giving you a small synopsis of why and how the Shiva lingam is worshipped. You saw that in Vashishta's cave when we went to Sage Vashishta, that cave on the bank of the Ganga inside the Himalayan mountains. It's about a 23-kilometer cave. They have barricaded so people can't go in anymore. You can just go in maybe 20, 30 feet. In that cave, Sage Vashishta, one of the great sages, he meditated for thousands of years. And it is also explained that Jesus came there. He was seen meditating in the cave with the sages. Then he would go bathe in the Ganga, because right next to it is the Ganga. So that is where we were worshipped. We got to bathe, do an abhishek. Or Shiva lingam with Ganges water and other flowers and leaves. So yeah, that is what the significance of the Shiva lingam is. I'll probably have to give you a full class on it, Cynthia.
Please do.
A few classes on Shiva lingam, because it's a very broad, deep spiritual topic. And it's
Thank you.
phenomenal.
I've been meditating for a while, studying. And what I find is that there's the obvious and the subtle. There's the gross and there's the subtle symbolism behind it. So as human beings, we can take it on a lot of different levels. But the whole idea of worship of an oval stone, or a shaligram, for example, like a stone that's been in a holy river, in a site over many years, it's become smooth, it's become refined, and it's no longer jagged. Okay, it has a beautiful oval shape. And that's also often used in conjunction with the worship of oval-shaped shivling. They're called shaligrams. They're also holy in one. So the idea of the soul itself, the consciousness itself being infinitesimal, a point, it's very hard to grasp. Let's say the concept of the divine, the source, just being a point of light. It's a little abstract, so we need as worshipers something to offer milk and flowers to. So we created this oval image so that we could do our rituals and put the lines, the 3 lines and the dot in the middle of that line. Past, present, future, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, 3 aspects, God, generated, operating, those 3 lines. But that point is always put on the Shiva lingam. Now, when foreigners came and they saw Hinduism, oh, well, this is phallic worship from blah, 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 blah. So even the Indians, they said, well, let's not go there, because that wasn't the original plan. But they're not going to get defensive about it. But you know, basically, there's a lot of confusion. People take it's not actually phallic worship. It's symbolic of the soul itself, the aura. Even Carlos Castaneda, mystics in Mexico, they talk about the being and the human. The human is the physical form, but you can see an enlightened being by their aura, by the glow. So that point of light has an aura. And that's why the Shiva Ling is always oval-shaped, and the shaligrams are also oval-shaped. And they'll worship them sometimes in conjunction with 10,000 shaligrams, little stones. You know, they're all worthy of worship. So when we get together as a group, like obviously I just stumbled into something and I'm probably taking too much of your time, but I just want to really thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Song. Yeah, the Hindi song is about the Ganges, you know, about just Desh mein Ganga, baby. And people are like, hey, there's a guy, come sing that song, you know, because it's all very fortuitous. So somehow I stumbled into this wonderful satsang, and I look forward to running it. I got to run too for some other projects, but namaste, thank you. And
Thank you for joining us.
yeah, it was really insightful. I like your process. Take care.
Okay. So, you know, it is a very deep topic, so it'll require definitely a few classes, Cynthia. One day I'll give a class on Shiva lingams and the origination, different takes on it, the different forms and the different subtleties of Shiva lingams. And you mentioned about Shalagram Shila. Shalagram Shilas is a special group of black stones that are in a special river in Nepal called the Gandaki River. And those stones are particularly carved by a special group of insects that live only in that river. They are special architects that carve those stones. They're called Vajrakita. Vajrakita are the special insects or architects of carving and shaping those beautiful Shalagram Shilas. And they carve Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. That means the conch shell, the disc, the club, and the lotus flower. Those are the four primary carvings that they're expert at. And each one of those stones, depending on how many chakras they carve, it represents different deities of Vishnu. So it gets very beautifully complex how the divine has given everybody, even these little insects in the river that are almost invisible to our eyes. They're carving out this incredible detailed carvings on the rocks that are so hard and beautifully smooth. So this is something that we understand. Laura, it's nice to see you.
I guess my timing was wrong a bit. I don't know why. It's still not 4 o'clock Sofia time, but still can't see you.
Yes, so happy to see you. Please give our love to your beautiful Ava and Yvonne. So this is it, you know, the understanding the importance of the complexities of spiritual artifacts, spiritual symbolism, and spiritual geographies and spiritual energy vortexes. And Mayapur is a place, this is called the Audarya Dham. Audarya. Audarya means a place of compassion. So just like Vrindavan we went to, it's a place of self-love. All the places that we went. And you were able to see it. If anyone that had issues with self-love, you were able to shed some tears if you didn't love yourself and remove those layers so that you can learn to love yourself. And Mayapur is Audarya Dham, is a place of compassion. So if you don't have compassion in you, you're going to have a little bit of a struggle initially to adjust to that energy of divine compassion. And that is why we go to those places, so that we can sync our individual spiritual energy vortex to the cosmic energy vortex, to charge our individual selves, to charge our individual energy houses within ourselves. And that's why we go to those places. Just like, when you drive a Tesla car, you have to pause after a while and plug it in somewhere to charge it so you can drive again. So you'll notice people come to India, to these holy places, to charge every year. Okay, this year I'll go to Rishikesh. Next year I'll go to Varanasi. Next year I'll go to Puri. I'll go to Dwarka. I'll go to Badrinath. I'll go to Mount Kailash. So all these trips that we do is simply to go and recharge our spiritual batteries. And that's why many times people get sick, because there is a huge energy disparity. And it takes a lot of time to pick up the lag, the energy lag. And now that all of you are back home, you will notice that gradually, you'll be able to get reacclimatized. And you'll have deep realizations. And many of you that observed and absorbed all the energies of Vrindavan, Radhakund, Shyamakund, Govindakund, Ganga, Rishikesh, Lord Shiva, all those will seep in, and gradually it'll alter your energy and your consciousness and get you more grounded. So this is why these trips are very, very valuable. Any other last questions?
I'd just like to say thank you for that soliloquy. You helped me understand so much. And I want to say thank you to all the people who went to India, because to take that on and go through that experience, you do it for all of us. And we all are able to hear about that and receive through our collective consciousness the experiences you've had in the charging. And it's very profound. And thank you. I honor you all for going through that experience and sharing with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. I was reflecting on this. You so nicely presented. I was reflecting today. One of the boys asked me, said, Veda, why is it that I am here? One of these boys, Britt, he asked me, he said, why is it that I'm here? And I said, have you asked yourself this question? He said, no, because I don't have an answer. And I said, well, I can tell you why you're here. These places that we visit are not places that you can go to. You can't just buy a ticket to Rishikesh. It's not possible. You have to be invited by Lord Shiva to say, Cynthia, I welcome you to my home. Haripriya, I welcome you to my home. Many times you'll notice that there's a million obstacles when we want to go visit such places. Those are not your obstacles. Those obstacles are put for you because you're not meant to go. But the cool part is, somehow, when we pray sincerely, Lord Shiva will pull you to Rishikesh, Krishna will pull you to Vrindavan, and everybody will just pull you towards them. So in the sages, they explain that these places are not just, this is the house. I can't go into your house, Claire, unless you invite me. Because if I knock on your door and I'm uninvited, you may just call 911. It's like, I don't know, this guy, he didn't even let me know he was coming to my house. I don't know what his intention is. I want to make sure that, he shouldn't come into my house without asking. You just see me and you call 911. But if you invite me to your house, then I can come. So Lord Shiva has to invite us to come to Rishikesh. And Krishna has to invite you to come to Vrindavan. And so these are very, very interesting phenomena that is explained in the yoga text, that whenever we go to such places, we're invited, and then that place is made available for all of us. And you'll notice sometimes people are just like, very quickly, they have nothing. Like one of the boys from Atlanta who came, he's like, man, I'm not interested in all this yoga stuff. I don't know if I really want to go, man. And I said, I think Lord Shiva wants you to come. And he immediately goes, okay, I'm going to book my ticket. He goes, but Veda, I don't have any money. And I said, just book your ticket. You're going to make it. And he goes and asks his parents, hey, Dad, I want to go to India with Veda. I want to go to Rishikesh. And his dad does not even hesitate and just buys him a ticket. And sometimes people will go through so many challenges just to figure out a way to get a ticket money to go to a place. He just had this strong desire, and it just all manifested. So these are some of the ways that we understand that Lord Shiva is ready to accept you in his house. He's inviting you. And especially, when people who are in this path of yoga, they invite us. I almost feel like I'm Lord Shiva's guest, his representatives. I'm his representative saying, hey, he's my dad. He's, come home. Let's go check him out, He's a cool guy. So in this way, you'll see the devotees of Shiva, devotees of Krishna, they invite us to come to our parents' homes, and they help you to find your relationship with these great personalities. So this is something that I found quite fascinating about all these places. So many people struggle to come. I was telling one of my students that there's a family that I know in Atlanta. They have been wanting to go to Rishikesh and Vrindavan with me for the last 20 years. 20 years. Ever since I moved to the United States, they're like, Veda, we want to go with you to Rishikesh. We want to go with you to Vrindavan. And they're not poor. But the time hasn't been right. And they regret it, and they lament every time I come back. They lament that they didn't go. Always something comes up in the family. So, these are very interesting places, far out places that we have to be invited. Our heart has to be pulled in that direction to develop a deeper relationship, to grow our own personal spiritual lives in a loving relationship with these personalities. So thank you, Claire. Any other additions, anyone? Any comments or questions? So who would like to go next year? Let's see if you have a desire. Let's see what Lord Shiva does. Who has a desire to go to Rishikesh and Vrindavan with me next year?
I want to go to Vrindavan.
There we go. We have 4 people. 5. And the cool part is that everywhere we go, we just have so many ecstatic kirtans. It's insane. It's mind-blowing. Wherever we stop, we're at a bathroom break, we stop and do a kirtan. Remember, Cynthia, we're waiting for all the girls to use the bathroom, and we just bust out with a kirtan. And then we were stuck at a temple, we're waiting for everybody to come in the street corner, we start a kirtan, and the monkey comes and steals somebody's glasses, and this lady starts to freak out, doesn't know what to do. And then, being a seasoned monkey expert, because I lived in these places before, I pull out 2 bananas and negotiate with the monkey, and I give him 2 bananas, then he let go of the glasses. Do you remember that, Cynthia? We teach you how to negotiate with the monkeys when they take things away from you. Yeah, it was a fantastic trip. So, thank you so much. If there's no questions, we'll see you next week and we'll have a lot more fun. I'll give you a beautiful slide presentation next week of all the beautiful places and beautiful stories of our India trip. And I'm so happy to be with all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. So nice to see you, Susan, your face, Claire, Margaret, Laura, Cynthia, Haripriya, Chintamani, and all of you whose faces I'm not able to see. I just want you to know we love you very much, all the way from Mayapur. Namaste, everyone. Please have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
you.